My name is Billy, and I'm the group coordinator for this project. In this project, I did the scheduling and planning, collaboration, and the final report. In this project, I've created a project page on GitHub. In it, I separated our project into 3 columns. The first column is named to do, the second column is named in progress, and the third column is named finish. And by doing this, we're able to increase teamwork efficiency. In addition, I've also learned time management skills by creating checklists and due dates on GitHub. We're able to avoid procrastination and miscommunication. These management skills will help me better organize future projects. And the best thing about this project is getting to use GitHub because it's used by a lot of corporations. For example, today, millions of developers use GitHub to debug code, build projects, and softwares.
Hello, my name is Glenn, and I did the parallel programming part A, so I answered the questions for parallel programming. What I learned here is when they use OpenMP and other parallel programming sources, and it was interesting to see the differences, which the pros and cons between each one. I will use this in my future work and job as to help me to understand when I need to use one feature over another, because each one has its pros and cons to it, and depending on what I want to do is when I would need to use one thing over the other, and one thing doesn't have necessarily everything that I would need when I am doing a task in my future job. The most challenging thing was understanding what I was reading and making sure I understand the information for when I'm paraphrasing the questions. The best one I had was just learning how drug companies use, drugs and how their process goes, which can help me to understand my process of thinking.
Hello, my name is Rez.
My part was parallel programming, part B.
I did this part with the help of Khan and Etienne. Thanks to them. What I learned
for my task was just
getting better knowledge of parallel programming, and I'm going to use this knowledge
for
most likely for my final exam, and in the future project, maybe like in an internship if I have to
use parallel programming. And
the most challenging thing in my task was just kind of finding connection between the parallel programming concept and the DNA and making drugs by companies. These two concepts are kind of like different from each other, but I have to find the connection between them.
Hello, my name is Etienne Stuckey. I also worked on the parallel programming aspect of the project. The most difficult part for this project was meeting up with everybody, because there's so many of us working on the same part of the assignment, and also, as Russ said, making connections between the concepts of computer science as well as the medicinal information. And I plan on using this in the future, one, on my resume, because this is kind of a real-world application of what I'm learning in school, as well as on the final that we have next week. What I learned from this was how I will be using my knowledge of computer science to work with companies that you generally wouldn't think of. A lot of times people think of like Google and Bungie, other gaming companies, other tech companies that they'll be using what they learned in school for. But this was a nice example of how we'll use this in aspects that we wouldn't really have thought of.
Hello, this is Sultan, and my task for this assignment was doing the lab report for parallel programming with Etienne and Rez. What I learned from this assignment was how to use the Raspberry Pi more efficiently and utilizing multiple threads to complete the parallel programming task. How I will use it on my future job is that the parallel programming knowledge will help me with professional interviews and also during my job time. the most challenging part of this assignment was definitely to meet at a common time ahead of the finals, and also answering all the questions regarding the lab report, and finally preparing a well-organized rep report using the codes and snippets.
This is our last show.
Area42, thanks for watching.
It was a fun ride.
Yeah,
I love
it was
y'all.
great.
I
Love
love
it.
y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.